Welcome to the Business Inside You podcast with TreseysWorld. I'm Tresey, and today we are going to talk about unleashing your marketable passion. Passion is defined as a strong and barely controllable emotion. Do you have a passion? But are you afraid to pursue it full time? I know the story all too well. I've lived it, and I'm here to tell you that you are not alone. Today's guest is actress, business owner Destiny Washington of Taped Studios. Destiny Washington, a vibrant actress and the visionary behind Taped Studios, embodies the power of pursuing one's passion. Her purpose is a testament to the transformative potential of aligning your purpose with your deepest desires. From a young age, Destiny's heart beat in sync with the rhythm of storytelling and the magic of theater, television, and film. This lifelong love, nurtured through years of dedication and exploration, ultimately led her to create Taped Studios. Studios designed to empower and elevate actors across the country. Destiny's story underscores the importance of identifying your true passion, that spark that ignites your soul and fuels your drive. It's this intrinsic motivation, she believes, that forms the bedrock of a truly successful and fulfilling business. By understanding and leveraging your unique talents and desires, you can create a venture that not only thrives, but also aligns with your deepest sense of purpose, leaving a positive impact on the world. Destiny, thank you so much for joining me today. And tell us a little bit about yourself and your business.
Sure. Like you said, my name is Destiny Washington. I'm an actress and I'm owner of Taped Studios. So I started pursuing acting a long time ago, but I was always working a 9 to 5. And I got to a point where I said, okay, I have to be able to walk in my purpose every single day. Like if I'm not on stage, if I'm not in front of the camera, I need to be honing my craft. And I have a passion for helping other actors. So literally, right, a month before COVID started, I started my business, and we started as a self-tape studio. We actually thrived during COVID because now everything is virtual. So people were scramming, looking for a place to tape, and coaching as well. So like I said, we thrived during COVID, and now that was in 2019, and we're in 2024, and we are a full-blown acting studio now. So we have classes, we do audition coaching. Some of our talent have been on network series, major film sets, all from our classes, being able to teach them, and our coaching.
Well, first of all, congratulations on that. That's amazing. How were you able to thrive like during COVID? Like, that's amazing. A lot of businesses.
No, they weren't. If you remember in COVID, they were shutting people down. If you weren't an essential business, then they were shutting you down. But because it's virtual, we were able to thrive. So a self-tape, before we were able to go into casting rooms and actually look at the casting director, feel their energy and do our audition. And they immediately changed to everything was virtual. Callbacks were virtual, send us a self-tape. And actors literally had nowhere to go. So I kind of maximized that by using social media. I am not a social media person. I'm not an Instagram person. I'd rather just leave it all alone. But I actually maximized that. I created little marketing commercials. They were so cheesy, but it got the attention that I needed to get, from the people. And it was just amazing. People were blowing us up. We had agents and talent managers from LA to New York when their talent was traveling, or they would send them there. So by that, I've been able to work with people like Trey Tucker, Andrea Iris, who's now on that 90s show. Trey Tucker is actually in Heels. LaToya Luckett has been a regular. So a lot of different stars, but most importantly, the local talent. I've been able to connect with them, and they've been riding with me ever since.
That is amazing. Okay.
Mhm.
All right. Spill the tea. Like, how did you get the connections with the celebs? Like, how did
Oh,
that
let me tell
happen?
you something. I have no idea. You know what? I worked with celebrities on set and, in passing met some of them, but literally Google. Craziest thing. It was either their talent managers or agent, or it was them. Like Latoya Luckett found me herself from Google. And then I know Andrea Ayers and Trey Tucker, Google. And Andrea Ayers, I think she said her agent sent her. I can't remember. Don't hold me to that. But Google. When I tell you, because I was making sure I was adamant about asking for reviews, 5-star ratings across the board, which pushed my, I guess, is it SEO, the rating up to #1. So since 2019, we've been 5-star. We've always been at the top of the list for self-taping studios in Dallas. We've always remained that #1 spot. And now when you Google acting studios as well, we're right up there on the first page. So.
Well, then. Okay. All right. So I'm gonna take it back just a little bit. So
Okay.
you are an actress.
I am. Mm-hmm.
What made you say, okay, let me not step out of acting, but let me broaden my perspective a little bit. What made you do that?
I've been coaching like my friends and other actors since 2011. I was always putting on free workshops and things like that, but I noticed I was having success in that they were actually booking. They actually had an understanding, and as an acting coach or a teacher, you have to be able to communicate with whoever you're teaching. And I realized I had also had a gift for that. I'm a true believer that not everybody only has one gift. So being in front of the stage or being in front of the camera or on stage is one thing, but being able to pour into other actors, that was something I noticed that I also became passionate about. And then I know that I wanted to create a legacy and build something bigger. I want to be the go-to resource center for actors, not just in the state, but just across the country. And so that was my way of doing that. I know I won't always be in front of the camera. So when I'm not in front of the camera, I need something that I'm just as passionate about, where I can still be in my moment, where I can still learn and pour into other actors. And I thought about it like, when I get older, when I get like 50, 60 years old, I may not want to act. So I need something that I have built already, and I can just sit back and kind of be the administrator and grow it from there.
That is definitely a big take, like a big risk to take, especially during
Yeah.
COVID. So I want to ask the question that a lot of people a lot of people struggle with when it comes to businesses, and that
Yeah.
is, how do you balance your passion with your income? Like, how did you make that work for you? Because you can be passionate all day about something, love what you do, like, I can do this, I love it,
Yeah.
and not get paid for it. Because a lot of things
Mhm.
that a lot of us have done, especially in the creative world, has been
Yeah.
unpaid things. So
Mhm.
when you come along, you're like, okay, yeah, I want to pursue this full time. You know, where how did girl show me the money? Like,
On a prayer, I would tell you that. For the longest, I've always had a 9 to 5. I've always had a 9 to 5. So what my schedule, you have to work everything until you know that you can let go of your 9 to 5. So I've always did that. I was an HR director for a real estate company, and I was getting up, taking my daughter to school in the mornings, working my human resources job, picking her up, and then going to my studio every single night and working until whatever time. That's literally what I did for probably 3 years when I started my business. And I was always acting, but now it was like booking gigs, and I had the studio, and I had the job, and I am a mom, all those things I was doing. But you have to, you'll know when it's time. And then you'll know you'll have to bet on yourself. So you have to make preparations. I saved as much money as I could, but you also have to remember, when you're stepping out on faith, there will never be enough money. You can say, I'm gonna save up 20,000, I'm gonna save up 40,000, and then I'll just have this nest egg. No, it doesn't matter. You'll never have enough money. So you have to really just step out on faith and trust that it will work. But when you step out on faith, you have to do the work. You have to put in the time. You have to put in the man hours. And if you're starting a business, 9 times out of 10, you're the only one working. You ain't got money to hire anyone else. So I was doing everything. I'm doing the marketing. I'm doing the marketing. I'm doing the reading. I'm doing the editing. I had no knowledge of Premiere Pro. I had no knowledge on how to work a camera. But let me tell you, YouTube University got me all the way together to where my tape started standing out. Talent agencies started reaching out to me because they saw the quality of it. And I'm huge on quality. And so I just think that the money will come. You know that saying, if you build it, they will come, or it will come, whatever the saying is. I truly believe that. And what you focus on flourishes. So if you're focusing on the right thing, you're focusing on something you're passionate about, you focus on something that you're honest with yourself and you're good at, you're great at, then it will come. But I don't think there's just one, there's not one tip or trick that I could tell anyone to say, okay, how do you make it work? You step out and you make it happen. It's simple as that.
It's simple, but it's not.
Mm-hmm.
Like it's
It's
simple, but
simple
it's
in
not.
theory. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It's work. It's a lot of work. You have to put forth and grow and hone your craft and pour into your business and learn more and eventually get to the point where you got to charge your worth. You're going to take a lot of losses in the beginning, but girl, stress. It's fine. It's stressful, but I love it. I wouldn't change it.
So what resources were available to you to help you become an expert at what you do? Like what you said, YouTube University, did you
YouTube
have
University.
mentors, like
So actually, I knew for a while that I wanted to start this business. So when I was at work, I worked for a business owner, an entrepreneur. So I'd be slick watching him, see how he operates. How does this department work? Marketing, I'd pay attention to the social media team that he had, his finance team, everything. I would just watch and I would take notes. How does he run the business? What works? What doesn't work? And it was that. So not necessarily a mentor, but I went and I found blueprint of what I aspire to be. And then I kind of just watched them from afar. But I don't have a mentor. I haven't had a mentor in this. I think that watching him work, taking notes, helped. I didn't have any money. I didn't know how I was going to get started. I just knew I had a passion in my heart and I knew it had to happen. I'm the type of person though, I have the mentality, I find a way or I find an excuse. But I don't do excuses. So I have to find a way. And if I write it down, if I speak it, I know it'll happen. That's the type of person I am. So I went searching for grants to see that. I got, out of all the ones I applied for, I got one.
wow.
And then I was saving money. And so I poured in probably a lot of my money to get a space, to get the equipment, to do everything. SCORE is a great resource that every city has. Go to your local chamber of commerce. A lot of times they have workshops or people you can connect with. So I didn't have a direct mentor, but I did take advantage of going to the SCORE small business community and take different workshops. Understand, okay, how does taxes work? So I got to pay every year and I got to pay every quarter. Like all of these things I started to figure out, not just about the craft itself or starting a studio or understanding what I need to provide to actors. I had a heads up, a leg up because I'm an actor myself, but the business side, I had no clue. It was straight research. I didn't pay any website or anybody to start my business, to incorporate it. For a long time, I was a sole proprietor till I was till I was actually making money. And then I did that transition and switched it to a limited liability corporation. I had to do the research on how to do that. Okay, what is a DUNS number? All these different things, they are heaven sent to help you figure out, and it's free majority of the time. The resources are there. You don't always have to pay people hundreds or thousands of dollars. Now, when you get to a certain level, for when I get to a certain level, I know that, yes, I know it's a certain amount of money I'm gonna make. I need to be reaching out to the professionals. But when you're first getting started, do your research. You're gonna make a lot of mistakes. And it will be tough, but let me tell you, the resources are out there. Google will be your best friend. I promise you, it will be your best friend. But the resources are there. And so any free resource I could come across, whether it be online or in person, I was there.
Yeah, I like what you said when you said that you were working your 9 to 5, but you were kind of like, checking out how everything was going. So you really were maximizing every moment you got.
Every moment, like literally every moment. I was creating, I had a notebook and I used that notebook to write notes in. If I got an audition, guess what I was doing on my lunch break? I would like to get my work done in the daytime, so then the afternoon it's free unless somebody was coming into my office. I study lines. I figure out, research, bring my iPad, figure out what to do, but maximize your lunch break. If you get to work early, don't just sit there and be on social media. If you're on social media, follow people who can give you valuable information, or study your lines if you're an actor. Use your lunch break. I would eat for the first couple of minutes, make sure I'm ready, and then I'd shut the door. I brought my stuff to my job, and I do my self-tape, and I book literally doing that. You just got to be hungry till people realize what I was doing, and they're like, can I help you? Can I be your reader? Like things like that. So I just maximized my time as much as I could, because I know that once I actually got home, that's time for my daughter, so yeah. That's a priority.
So what are we're going to shift a little bit to the happy. What are some of the benefits to that you've experienced with pursuing your passion?
Oh, freedom. Freedom is a huge benefit. That's my huge goal. The people that I meet has been just phenomenal. And I'm not just talking celebrities or people who are notable. I'm talking about the actors that come into the studio every single day that I've been able to coach. Like, they've been such a blessing to me. And you learn something from everybody that you meet. And I think that has been such a blessing. Being able to see my dreams come to fruition has been amazing. But for most importantly, I think the freedom, being able to spend my time as I please, that has been the biggest benefit. And knowing that I'm being a blessing to other people, that I'm helping people. Like when I get the phone calls that somebody was just booked on Power, or the new Tyler Perry film, or now they're on a network series, or now I just understand how to break down a scene properly. I understand the psychology of the given circumstances and creating my backstory, just knowing that I've stationed myself to be a pillar in the acting community here. That's been like the absolute biggest blessing, in knowing that I'm helping people.
So how did you overcome those challenging moments, or find inspiration during those challenging times where you may not have a lot of clients, or you're not getting the calls that you want? Like,
you mean the last 2 months? You mean the summertime? That's what you mean? It's been wild. I have never felt so defeated in my life. I've never cried. I'm lying. I've cried a lot, but I was crying a whole lot. But I was crying as I was moving. I was crying as I was moving forward, and still doing my best to make things happen. I'm strong in my faith. I have a great foundation. That's number one. Number two, I believe in myself and the services I offer. and the talent that I have. If you do not have a strong foundation and believe in yourself, it's going to be tough, because you can't look to people you love. You can't look to friends. You can't look to your mentors to inspire you and motivate you. You have to encourage yourself. You have to believe in yourself. And that's the hardest part. Sometimes it takes a minute. It takes a long minute. You're going to have your pity parties. You're going to feel down for a few days, but then you will never depart from your foundation. And you'll have that aha moment and be like, okay, I've been down long enough. We just got to figure it out. As an entrepreneur and as a creative, you have no choice either to do it or give up.
Mm.
Simple as that. You can do it. You go hard. You put your best foot forward, and eventually it will work out. I know a lot of the times my issue and why it's tough at times, yes, money wasn't coming in. Yes, it was tough, but it always worked out. So that was something I always had to remember, that things are a little light, or I don't know how this is going to work. Sometimes I just had to say, forget it. I don't know. Literally talk to God, be like, I don't know. I don't know. What in my mind, I'm like, Destiny, what are you going to do? I don't know. I don't know. That was my answer for everything, but it always worked out. When I think I wasn't going to be able to do something, or I thought I wasn't going to get a client, it always happened, right? But you also have to put in the work. You have to do the marketing. You have to push. You have to make sure you understand who your client base is, and push your information that way. And don't be afraid to kind of reach out to people. And I think that was my issue, because I hate sales. I'm not a closer. I don't do all that. That's why, people be mad at me when I used to work at a bank a long time ago, because I'm not going to upsell anything. These folks just want their money. I'm just going to give them their money. So I think following up has been a beautiful thing. And I just had to remember the plan, and that everything is not going to be a straight line. I see my future. I see the end goal, but I know that this journey, no matter the peaks and the valleys, is what's most important. And I won't have a testimony when I finally get to my incline. I'll have a testimony to say about that. And it's gonna be crazy. I'll be like, girl, I ain't had no money. I had no money. I didn't know how it was gonna work. One time, everybody called in acting class and nobody showed up. Everybody was going, it's just a lot of things that you don't hear about. And then I'm a Black woman with a studio. Everybody, you know how people do. Sometimes they tend to want to just send all the Black people your way, that type of thing, which was different for me, because I've always grew up very diverse in first diverse communities. But it's been like the most beautiful struggle. It's a tapestry. Following your dreams, following your passion is like a tapestry. It's beautiful on one side, but when you flip that sucker over, it's just colors and thread that don't make any sense. It's just confusing. But once you actually turn around and put everything into perspective, it's really beautiful. And that's the only way that I can explain it. And I'm just making sure that I believe in myself. Mm-hmm. If I don't believe in myself and the services I offer in my business, in my craft as an actor, then nobody else will. And I can't expect other people to. There's been a lot of situations where I'm like, okay, I got support. I don't know. I'm my support. People will say they support you until it comes down to support you. We know that all too well. But they watch you from afar. They want you to do good, but not better than them. Or they see you being a trailblazer, or they see you making moves that, I can do that too. But you can't. I'm telling you right now, you can. This is my level. This is my lane, and I stay in it, and I know how to navigate it properly. So when I see people like trying to do what I'm doing and trying to like take the exact blueprint that I'm doing or I have created, it used to annoy me, but now I just laugh, because it don't never last past a couple months, because it's not what you're supposed to be doing. And when it is what you're supposed to be doing, it works. So I just kind of like think about every single thing that I can and try to do my best to encourage myself.
Well, there's another interesting point that you brought up. With you being an actress, right? Yourself.
Mm-hmm.
And you're coaching, right?
Mm-hmm.
How do you deal with the other actors that are like, how are you coaching? Because you're an actress, you're an actress like I am. I'm sure you get that. Like, you know what I mean? Like,
I do get that. They're like,
we're
how
born
do
for the
you?
same roles. Like, how are you gonna coach now? And you're an actress. So how does that work for
So
you?
let me tell you, it's no different than what people are doing already.
Mm.
Some people, I just went about it differently. So you have amazing acting coaches. Tasha Smith is one. She was established, created a name for herself, then she opened her acting school, right? It's what I did, except I did it in reverse. And I act, I'm a working actor. People tend to think if you're not famous or if you haven't been on these A-list films and stuff, like where do you get off being an actor? But what I tell them is the results speak for themselves. If I wasn't a good coach, I wouldn't have people in my class that are booking, that are working, that are on network shows, that their talent agents reach out to me or refer to me. The ultimate green light and cosign is when talent agents and talent managers, I'm listed on their websites as a credible coach, as a credible audition coach, as a credible taping studio. So I don't worry about them because it's just, I don't have room for competition. I don't see any competition. This is my lane and I'm really great at it. So you can get on board now or you can wait till my breakthrough role comes and now people have their eyes on me and now they want to come to the studio. Right? So I'm just doing it now when it's my, I've dealt with that a lot. I was going to say something else, but I've dealt with it a lot. I've had people look at me, but now those same people who were looking at me crazy, asking questions, how did she get to do this? They're the ones that's trying to get on board, trying to be a part of the team, trying to come get in on a class, trying to see what I'm up to. But I see it. I already know before you make that attempt. But it's unfortunate because I think if it's your passion, if it's your calling, it's what you're supposed to be doing, then do it. Don't worry about what I'm doing or what credits you think I do have. Go look on my IMDb. Go ask and call someone about me. Go ask the person who was just booked on that episodic. How was I a part of that process and make it happen? See, I don't worry about what they tell me or what they tell others and it gets back to me, or she's not credible. She's charging only this much. She doesn't know what she's talking about. But I'm also an artist and I understand how people use this industry to scam. I also understand that you're overcharging and you haven't been on a single TV show, you haven't booked anything, and you're not actively in the industry right now charging $1 million for the services you offer. The thing about my studio and my coaching that stands out is that I'm actively on set. I'm actively in the industry. I'm keeping up with the industry trends. I'm making sure they're not only learning and they're getting coached, but when the film commission or these great workshops or celebrity friends that I have, I bring them to class. They give them feedback. They give them opportunities. I can't guarantee any of that, but that's how I've been blessed. And that's what's different about that. If I was not credible, I'm not like popular, you know what I'm saying? In the sense of, oh, that's Destiny Washington, she's an actress. I'm not there yet. But when people want to refer people to classes or get coaching, they think of me. They think of tape studios. And that's the biggest green light that I could ever ask for. So people who are talking, I just let them talk. I'm a shower. I'll show you better than I can tell you. I'm not going to give in. I'm not going to entertain you. I'm gonna let you do what you do. But because it always gets back to me, but you're never gonna get a reply from me. My reply will be my actions.
Did you face any opposition just from like family? Like, what the heck are you doing? Like,
Girl,
like, what are
let
you
me
doing?
tell
How are you
you.
gonna not work a job?
Let me
You know?
tell you, my parents, both of them amazing people, were like, what the hell are you doing? A creative? When I tell you, my dad was in the military, my mom's always had a great job, they've made great money. But when I said, oh yeah, I'm gonna be an actress, I'm gonna start my own studio, my own self-taping, they're like, all right. They literally was like, okay, all right, I hear you. I had to make them a believer though. Now they're my biggest supporters. Now, even as I'm expanding, how can I help? Well, maybe if you do this, I'll come do this. Like, I had to make them a believer
How did
before
you
they
do
did
that?
it. Actions, by going at it myself, not asking them for anything, just showing them that I could do it, but not showing them that I can do it. By me doing it, and as an effect, it showed them like, oh, this girl not playing. Now, as I talk to them about expanding, you're like, okay, you can do it. I see it. I see the vision. But I think it comes from a place of fear, right? Parents don't want us to like mess up in the sense of ruining our lives. If this is just a pipe dream, or if it's something you're not really passionate about, you say you want to be an actor, but you're not studying. You say you want to be an actor just so you could be famous, right? That's not too reassuring for yourself or anybody else, because there's no guarantee. But a result has to come from the work that you put in. And because I put the work, I was going to my studio, I was putting in the hours, I was crying, but I'm like, it's okay. I'll be fine. And as they see people coming, the people that come into the studio, how they're impacted and how great I'm doing, and that I ain't got to call them and ask them for anything, that I'm paying bills, that I'm making everything happen on my own, and it's only up from here. That's what showed them, okay, this is what she's supposed to be doing. But we have to remember, as creatives, we have to remember as entrepreneurs, the vision is not for them. The vision is not for your friends. It's not for your family. It's not for your significant other. If this is what you're supposed to be doing, and you know deeply in your heart, it torments you. Being a creative and an entrepreneur can torment you, because you know you're supposed to be doing it, but then everything looks like, I don't know, like, so, but you have to remember, it's not for them, it's for you. And if you know in your heart that it's going to happen, you can see it as clear as day in your mind, then it's for you to do. And you can't let naysayers or people be in your ear telling you otherwise, because then you'll get off track. Then you'll act like you'll feel like you're not supposed to do it, or doubt yourself. And those are things that cannot coexist. I retract the doubt yourself part, because as creatives, as entrepreneurs, we're like, what the hell are we doing? Are we supposed to be doing this all the time? And if someone tells you that they don't doubt, they're a liar. I would tell you that right now. You may have a good stretch where you're like, oh, I know this is going to be great. But there has been a day or two where you're like, what am I doing? No, I'm not gonna, I'm just about to go get a 9 to 5. It'll be easier. It'll be easier if I just wanted to work a 9 to 5 and live in a house with a white picket fence with a family and a couple kids and a dog. But that's not my vision. It's so much more grander than that. I want to change things generationally, right? My family was able to make great money in their jobs doing something that they both love, but I'm trying to level it up to the next level, to where it impacts generations. They were the first in their families to do it, and now it's time for me to level that up, right? And then my daughter will do the same thing. So for generations we can kind of change that. But I had to make them a believer, because they didn't believe. They're like, oh, here she goes, she got another play. she on some movie, you know. But now they're proud. Now my dad went from like, oh, okay, like one word messages or answers. And now he's like, oh, I sent the link to your play to this person and I'll be there. I'll be in town. And when's your next movie coming out? And blah, blah, blah. Oh, you just wait. Do what you got to do. Get in shape. You're going to get that action movie. How can I help? Can I help? Things like that. But it's just been such a blessing to see that and kind of a load off. But you don't know how quick it'll happen. You don't know if you'll never make them a believer. Some people feel you got to be famous to be deemed successful. And that's not the truth. If you're able to take care of yourself, I have a daughter, I'm a single mom. I'm doing this all by being a single mom. That's actually one of the reasons why I started my business. I see my daughter more than I've ever seen her. My whole 20 years of working a 9-to-5. I see my daughter way more than I've ever seen her. I can take her to school. I can pick her up. I can adjust my schedule if I have something that I need to do for her. Right. So I think to me, that's a blessing. And I say I aim for freedom, but I already have a taste of freedom now, just being able to do that.
If you can share one important thing that you've learned on this journey, what would it be?
See the vision through. Feel, smell, see what your future looks like. And whatever that idea or vision of yourself looks like, and don't deviate from anything that is not that. Don't settle for anything that does not get you towards that vision or does not look like that vision. You have to stay the course and you can't deviate. You can't get off course, because the moment you get off course, it's going to take you a minute to get back on course, right? And it's going to take you longer than it would have. But if it doesn't look like the vision that you've been given, if it requires you to settle, then don't do it. You have to see it through, because what the vision that you have for yourself is real. You just got to put in the work to make it happen.
Tell us a little bit about like where we can find you,
Okay.
Your links, whatever you want to share.
For sure. So you can check out our website, which is www.igottaped.com. Everything's on there. You can call or text us as well at 469-795-8114. And please find us on our socials: Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, all the things. It's at @IGotTaped. And we also have a hashtag. It's #IGotTaped. So those are all the information. Oh, and if you want to follow my page, it's at I Am Destiny Washington.
Thank you. So listen, we're going to end this on a really good point, a high point, I should say. Find your passion can take time and effort, but it's worth it. And that's in the words of Mr. Mark Twain. Okay. So he said, find your passion and you'll never work a day in your life. That's what he said. And I believe that. I believe that when you find your passion, it will never feel like work. It won't feel like work. So I want to tell you guys, y'all heard it from Miss Destiny. She told y'all, about her path, and everyone's going to have their own path. But if you can glean something that'll help you on your journey of discovery and exploration into the business world, especially from coming from a creative environment, then go ahead and check out this podcast, as we have even more coming. We will continue this conversation. But listen, you guys, go out and be great today. Whatever it is you do, whatever it is you want to do, whatever it is you dream of doing, go out, do it, and be great today.